These sales principles have helped me promote from an SDR to a senior account executive by age 26 in my software sales job. Stick around until the end of the video for my Super Bowl prediction. I have a feeling it's going to be a lock. A principle is a fundamental truth that serves as the foundation for your behavior to help you get more of what you want out of life. The reason having clear principles are so important is because on a day-to-day basis, you face so many challenges, so many setbacks, and oftentimes those issues are repetitive, meaning you've seen them before. It's just another one of those. So by having principles for how you should act and respond, it will lead to better decision making and improved outcomes. So if you're focused on promoting, if you're focused on making more money, having a clear set of principles will most certainly contribute to your long-term success. I'm gonna outline my top 3 principles right now. I write them down almost every day so that I can hopefully ingrain them in my mind so that subconsciously, when I deal with obstacles, I say, okay, I've seen that before. This is exactly how I should respond. It's almost a playbook, and that's what both teams in the Super Bowl have. They have plays so that they can be more successful, and you need plays so that you can be more successful and clear-headed in your career. Hit the like button now because it really helps the channel, and comment your Super Bowl prediction and score below. If anyone gets it spot on, I will Venmo you $50 personally, so that will be fun to watch and see. Principle number 1 is to embrace reality and deal with it. I learned this principle from Ray Dalio in his book Principles, and this is a common theme I've heard from a lot of the successful people that I admire in the business world. And to me, it means just being realistic with yourself and honest with yourself, not trying to live in a disillusionment, not trying to act as if things aren't the way they are. It's being brutally honest with, okay, I don't have the pipeline I need to be successful, rather than acting like, oh, it's just gonna be okay, and oh, I don't need to stay extra long and work harder. It's saying, okay, I'm not there, there's a gap, let's go figure it out, and that's embracing reality. Within each principle, there's sub-principles, and sub-principle number 1 under embracing reality is we have full power to decide how we react to circumstances. This is probably the most important thing you can take away from this video. This is something you can learn in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Habit number 1, be proactive. And it's acknowledging that you have a circle of influence. Within this circle, you have the ability to respond to any circumstance situation. So for example, you're in your day-to-day sales job and you get an email from the customer that you have your biggest deal in your pipeline for, and they say, hey, we just went with your competitor. Immediately, you'll probably be frustrated internally and you'll want to email back, oh, that's so unfair, like, why me, blah, blah, blah. But recognize that you have the ability, you are able to respond accordingly. So telling yourself, look, I didn't provide enough value. I lost the deal, and deciding how you want to respond accordingly. You have the ability to respond to any set of circumstances. So rather than letting that internal frustration or emotion take over, it's embracing reality and dealing with it. Sub-principle number 2, and this is something I pride myself on as someone who meditates every morning, is to remain calm and clear-headed in all situations. Don't let frustration or anger ever take over. Really what this boils down to is when I feel that someone does something stupid or something that's going on that I don't like, it's very easy. For example, my neighbors, when their dog barks, I have this internal fire of, I just want to go put a post-it note on their door and say, control your dogs, because it's really annoying. It's really just to remain calm and clear-headed in all situations. Think of it as a roller coaster. You're never going too up, you're never going too down. Even if really good things happen, you recognize, hey, that's good. Great, let's keep going. And if bad things happen, you say, okay, this too shall pass. And it's just remaining clear-headed, and I don't want to say not emotional because that sounds not human. You want to be a human because that's what makes us all special. It's just remaining clear-headed and calm, because think about all the situations that you've overreacted or you have overcompensated to something you don't like, and then you regret it later on because you let your primitive emotion, your amygdala, your fight or flight fear take over. So it's just to stop that, and the initial charge of, wow, I'm mad, take a breath. Okay, what is the best course of action to respond going forward? Next sub-principle, never resent someone for their intent. Focus more on outcome of actions and 3 move ahead. What I mean by that is everyone's playing their own game. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to make money. Everyone wants to move up. And recently, I've had people do things to me that I really disagree with. And when I overanalyze their decisions, I try not to look at the intent, meaning, oh, they did that purposefully to upset me or purposefully to hurt me. I look at the action of their decision. So as a result of them doing that, this is how it actually impacted my life. And then I use that to guide how I respond, and then I think 3 moves ahead. Rather than just responding back and sending that email of, this is BS, blah, 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 I think, okay, how do I appease this? And then how do I think a couple moves ahead into the future? And when you're dealing with people, interpersonal communications, it's really important not to take things personally and to look at people's actions as what is the actual outcome, and then respond accordingly. And I think that will really put you in a position to be more successful. And then next, this is on to principle number 2. So we looked at the principle, embrace reality. We looked at the sub-principles. Now we're on to principle number 2. And it's seek first to understand, then to be heard. This is incredibly important for salespeople. I'm going to say it again. Seek first to understand, then to be heard. And really what this means is that people want to feel special. Give them their feelings and their time by active listening. So what this means is a lot of people, for example, think about when you're on a FaceTime. You're not even looking at the person. You're like on your iPad over here, like scrolling through Instagram. You're not even listening to the person. It's active listening. It's when the person says something, acknowledge, oh, it seems like you feel betrayed by your manager in your job there. That sucks. Feel that emotion with them. And then this is what makes Oprah so special, is because on that one-on-one basis, she's so good at active listening and making people feel special that it just transcends. So especially in your sales job, it's really important to make your prospect customer to feel special, to active listen. One, so that you can actually understand the pain points and the problems so you can build value, but 2, just to build that connection because everyone wants to feel heard. The next sub-principle is that you learn more from listening. And I think that this is especially important for salespeople because you need to be able to listen in order to communicate. Before you can talk, you must listen and understand. And when we think about seek to understand, recognize that there's sub-layers to communication. When someone says a first layer, oh, my program is really slow. You say, what about your program is slow? And they say, well, we can't automate this. And you say, why does it matter that you can't automate that? And you're going second, third, fourth layer deeper on their initial statement. And that is what it means to seek to understand. The third and final principle is to set clear targets. I think this is really important as a salesperson or anyone in life because if you don't have a clear picture of what success means to you, what you're working towards, then how can you ever hold yourself accountable to getting there? And if you go through your day thinking, it's not fair, that person has more than me, that person on Instagram has way more than me, this is just not fair, I'm behind, I'm just not even going to try. How can you compare yourself against other people if you don't even know what you want? And then once you do decide what you want, then you become less attached to what other people have because you say, they have their own goals and they're completely different than my goals. So why would I ever resent this person or be jealous or be insecure of them having more? It's completely irrational. And by setting clear targets, it actually puts you in a better position to achieve the outcome you desire. If your quota is $150,000 this quarter, why not set a clear target? Hey, I'm going to close $300,000 this quarter, and that's your clear target. And then you can reverse engineer and say, okay, I need to close 10 30K deals. I need to close 6 50K deals, whatever it may be. And you can actually start putting together a plan to put yourself in a position to make that outcome target happen. And if you don't know what you're working for, you're never going to get it. And then the final sub-principle under setting clear targets is you need to write down your targets every day. That is why I have this journal. Almost every day this year, I've missed less than 5 days. From January 1st to February 12th, 13th, whatever it is today, I write down my goals every day. I write down my targets. I write down what I'm grateful for, and I write down my principles. And the more you do that, the more repetition, the clearer you are on where you're going and what you're working towards. And ultimately, going back to the beginning, if you want to promote more, if you want to make more money, if you want to be more clear in your decision making and produce better outcomes, you need to have principles. You need to be thinking about these things. I hope you enjoyed today's video. My prediction for the Super Bowl, I haven't looked at the over-under, so my score may be a little off. I predict the Rams are going to win. I think that their defensive, I think games are won and lost at the line of scrimmage. And I think the Rams defensive line with Von Miller, Aaron Donald, and then there's another guy, 54. They create so much pressure that I think Burrow is going to have a lot of problems. Think about when the Bengals played the Titans. Jeffrey Simmons and that Titans line sacked him 8-9 times. I think that this game could get out of hand, especially if the Rams are able to get that pressure. I predict the Rams are going to win 32-28. 32-28. I know that the spread is, I think the Rams are 4-point favorites, so we're playing into that a little bit. Nonetheless, hope it's a good game. Enjoy the day. Have a great week. If you found value in today's video, hit the like button below if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. Connect with me on LinkedIn if you'd like to join networks. Follow me on TikTok. Talk to you in the next video. Bye.